What up, everybody? Welcome back to the next episode of Don't Do That on Wicked Wednesday. It is the hump day. Almost to the weekend, you guys. Almost there. Let me get my glasses on. Damn things. Alright, so as we begin,
Wicked Wednesday.
Smoke of the Ep, Shattered Thoughts, House of Dank. Of course, it is my spot.
That is the spot.
That is the spot. So remember, Sunday through Thursdays, 15% off anything that's not on sale. It is Jilly Jelly. Jilly Jelly.
I forgot to move my chair back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. So today I only have two topics. One of has to do with this because people don't know how to just enjoy.
God
They
forbid.
have to complain about everything.
Something.
Everything has to be something to be complained about for sure. So we're going to talk about that.
So I got a update on a Friday movie when it comes to Ice Cube. And I also have Judge orders Abrego Garcia to return to U.S. Due process should have prevented this situation to happen to that man. He should have never been deported. Never should have been. And people just not going by what needs to be going on. And it causes problems.
We also...
I'm going to try this new one.
We tried the other one Monday, right? So we're going to try this one.
The bubble pop.
Live on the show with you guys.
Yeah.
We're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to pour a separate glass.
Ooh,
it's nice and cold. We got it from the Hood Stove.
All right. Cheers.
Sam and Diane.
Cheers.
I like this one.
It's definitely better. It tastes like bubblegum.
I like this one.
Tastes like bubblegum. I respect that one a lot better.
Yeah, that was much better than what was a Super Pop.
Super Pop and Green Apple. Definitely tastes a lot better. I will definitely sip on that. It's not the best. It's not the best, but it's definitely better than definitely better than the Super Pop. My God, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, all right. Since we're both going to be on an entertainment kick for the moment, let's go ahead and start with finally has been approved. Friday, the fourth movie has finally been approved.
Oh, they are finally going ahead.
Yes, they are going ahead and do it. Now, New Line Cinema president and CCO Richard Brenner confirmed with The Hollywood Reporter that, in fact, they will be moving forward with the fourth Friday movie.
I wonder what they're going to call it.
Got that.
Last Friday?
Yes. Yes. He confirmed, in fact, that they will be doing the movie. It will be called Last Friday. Yes, of course, Ice Cube will be starring in it. Now,
Chris Tucker?
Not sure, but Mike Epps is going to be in it, I believe.
Mike Epps for sure. Day.
Now, the first one was done in 1995. Second one was in 2000. The third one was in 2002.
Huh, so they got a nice
yes. Where when the other Friday movies were made, he has been trying to get the last one done for a few years now. Now, Mike DeLuca, who is now in charge of Warner Brothers and new leader of Warner Brothers, closed the deal with Ice Cube. He was talking last year on Flavor Flav's podcast, Flavor of the Week, and he let him know that, in fact, he was letting it go through. Mike DeLuca was in charge of New Line Cinema.
Okay.
When Ice Cube first started whenever he was doing like All About the Benjamins, Friday, those series. Mike DeLuca was in charge of New Line Cinemas at that time as well, and now he's in charge of Warner Brothers. So that being in charge, it was a big help. So of course Mike Gruber is also involved in it, and they both came to him and said, "Hey, what's up? We want to go ahead and get this moving because
networking and fostering relationships."
He fostered really good relationships with these people,
and see what happened for him.
And he was able to make sure that move
Are
forward
we there
with
yet?
Right, 1 and 2. And, yep, you got All About the Benjamins. You got the Fridays. There was something else that he had did. And it's like right on the tip of my tongue. I should have made sure I put that in there as well. I forgot to even do it. I forgot.
But that's part of your notes.
But it was all part of but it's all part all the other movies that he had did was all through New Line Cinema when DeLuca was in charge of it.
It wasn't his film per se though, but Anaconda.
No, I know it wasn't his film.
No, that was at New Line Cinema though.
I can't remember, but at the same the ones that he directed himself for when he was with New Line Cinema, DeLuca was there as well.
Okay.
But yeah, they both came to him directly and wanted to get it going because when they did that clean sweep of Warner Bros. And all that stuff, and they brought old dude in from New Line Cinema.
Yeah.
All that. That's who they brought in, and they were like, okay, perfect. We run Warner Brothers now. We're in charge of Warner Brothers. This is what's going on. We'll talk to the big execs and be like, hey, remember how much money this brought in, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then there you go. That's all we have to do. Everything is basically done by streaming now. How much money do you think they will be able to make just from that?
Definitely.
And when it comes to certain movies, the smokers are going to go to it.
Yeah, true.
And Last Friday is something that they will go to. So, what's your...
I'm still trying to work and figure out what's the best place to put these mics so that they're not rustling up against my chains it's a work in progress.
Yes.
Actually, my top story is something that the fellas we really don't talk about. We really don't talk about all that often. There's a song now from an artist that I haven't really paid much attention to until this song. Because this song has something that is a subject that I believe people need to talk about. And it was also just very interesting for him to open up and, share that with with us as an audience.
Right.
So YG, I haven't paid attention to YG since My Nigga. I did a No Beat Is Safe track off of My Nigga and whatever. But I haven't really paid any attention to the artist until this song. The song is 2004. That's what the song is called, 2004. And I'm guessing that's around the year or the year that this happened. But he starts out the song saying, when he was young, he got raped by a chick twice his age. And I know a lot of fellas probably run into situations where you end up hitting an older woman, and whatever those situations be, we as fellas, 9.5 times out of 10 don't even process that is something that may need to go under a microscope as opposed to just run to our fellas and be like, yo,
especially
you know what
at
happened? Yo.
a young age. We need to address that with our young men out there.
Yeah.
That certain things that you may think right then and there that it was,
Yeah.
fuck right on, bro.
I mean, because I can't even lie. When I heard the song and he went through it, he was talking about how he went to go tell his fellas what happened, and they were just like elated. You know what I'm saying? They was giving him high fives. Bro, that's what we would do.
Right.
Like,
right.
We wouldn't even say, oh, she took advantage of me until later.
When you would think about it.
When you see how your mindset is towards women, or if that changed your whole outlook on relationships or whatever, and then you try and figure out where that has stemmed from, and you go all the way back and you go
right there.
Because
you knew at the same time at that age, you like how he had stated in the song.
Mm-hmm. He said that if his mama would have knew,
like he knew it wasn't like right, but it was like maybe it's something like in a young person's mind.
Right then.
Right, like as a young person, you're thinking it's like, oh, just another thing to try and keep a secret from your parents. You know what I'm saying? Not thinking that it's something that's, top level stuff that you should probably be discussing with your parents, right? He stated that if his mom had found out,
it's a double-edged sword, because like if the same situation happens with the girl,
people are all up on that.
It's time to circle the wagons. It's time to throw the it's time to light the torches.
Right, but what about the safety of our young men out here?
This is facts.
And we then question how these young men grow up, right? So then we're like,
he talks about that in the song too.
We expect the men, we expect to look at men a certain way, and you're like, oh well, men just act that way or whatever. It's known to be almost like a cultural thing that they're expected to be a certain way. And then when you look back at what they did as a younger age, you then have to reflect at what they become later on in life.
Let me tell you, it is for my fellas out there. It's rough. It's rough because we as fellas, we could be in pain, and we are supposed to be the rock, the leader. So if you down, then everyone on your team is down. So even if you're down, you have to appear up. You have to keep focused and keep positive, even though you might be having a day or two where you really feeling it. And that's the thing about it. It's like, it's not the.
We have to remember that it's crazy, okay. Man.
It's
crazy. We need to stop looking at men like they're weak when they're able to express themselves on how they feel on certain things, because naturally, whenever you bottle all that stuff up, something bad is bound to happen.
Trying to tell you.
And it's not fair.
A lot of us do it. A lot of us do it. And you shoulder it. And you get through it. You get through it. You soldier it. I know. I talk to my peoples out here, and stay strong, gents. Stay strong.
Don't be scared to, and I say that healthily, don't be scared to express yourself and let it be known on how you feel, because if anybody or if any woman thinks you're weak for that, just remember the amount of strength it takes for you to keep yourself from actually showing how you feel. Because if you were to show how you feel as a woman shows how you feel, you would be wrong.
If they don't appreciate your presence, show them how it is.
Just
with
believe
your
it.
absence.
Exactly. Believe it. If they can't respect that out of you, to be able to show the weakest part of you, they don't deserve you. Period. Okay. So.
Can I do the Superman one real quick?
Mm-hmm.
One last thing. I don't want to cry about how much crying I hear online. So I'm not going to cry. Even though I know somewhere in here I've got some tissue. When the first trailer came out for Superman, everyone was excited because James Gunn is a genius when it comes to certain things, and he does good with the movies, and so he's done Guardians of the Galaxy, and now he's the big head honcho, the big kahuna at DC. And so when the first Superman trailer dropped, instead of us celebrating that the Superman trailer was the highest viewed trailer online in 24 hours, as it should be, it's Superman.
Right.
Do you want to know what people were complaining about? You ready to hear this one? His eyes look crooked when he's flying in the wintertime. Y'all see about that? His eyes look crooked. I understand that he rushed the trailer out there and he was not able to. I think that he's gonna doctor that scene because everyone jumped down his throat about that scene to where the eyes don't look so weird, because they do look weird. But this is about a man from outer space who lives amongst us, who can fly, run at super speed, see through things, and the only thing that he can't see through is lead. He runs around with his underwear on the outside of his pants. So I would like you to suspend reality a little bit when it comes to superheroes, because they're not real. Now, the newest one, new trailer just dropped, because we're getting closer and closer to July when this thing's going to drop. July 11th, I think it is when it drops. Okay. So the new trailer has a problem too. They show Crypto and they show Superman, when he falls to the ground, he's got his ass whooped, and he calls Crypto, and Crypto snatches him home, and he gets inside the Fortress of Solitude, and it's spectacle, and and you see the big Fortress of Solitude and all this CGI that they paid for, and then his little Kryptonian robots come in.
Okay.
And he says thank you. This is the first thing, because there's more. He says thank you to the Kryptonian robots because he's Superman. Okay. And the robots say, no need to thank us. We're lifeless automatons and we don't have feelings, or something to that effect, right? Okay. So what the people have a problem with is right after a new robot, number 12, they say this is she's new, number 12. And Kal-El, Superman, looks at number 12, and number 12 goes, "Oh, he looked at me." So people are like, well, wait a minute. I thought he said it was a mindless automaton. How is he? Why is she getting geeked because Superman looked at her? That doesn't sound like a mindless automaton.
You just enjoy the movie, bro. Please enjoy the movie.
Bro, do you realize they spend millions of dollars on all types of details, and for you to pick that particular detail out of a Rolodex and complain about that? But wait.
There's more.
There's more. Then they drag Kal-El into the little chamber and they turn the Fortress of Solitude around like a sundial. which I thought was kind of dope.
Yeah, I thought it was dope too.
And the whole thing of this Fortress of Solitude raises up in his presence as opposed to it's just right there where people can be flying over in the Arctic with helicopters and say, "Hey, that's Superman's crib." I kind of got that too. Okay, that's kind of sci-fi, but
movies,
superhero, alien from outer space living amongst us, right? Suspend reality. So then he gets into the sunroom and they say, "Let's charge him with the sun rays." And they charge him with the sun rays, and he screams or whatever, and they tell him the extra power on the sun rays. And guess what? The people are mad because the robots are charging him with the sun, and somehow that's wrong. Was he supposed to fly up to the sun like he has in other movies while he's gotten his ass whooped? Is he supposed to fly up to the sun and charge up like you usually do, flying to the sun?
How? He just got his ass whooped.
I'm trying to understand.
Like I said, it's them little minute details like that, them minute little nudies. The nudies right there
Stop
is
crying.
The reason why I said that DC fans
are crybabies.
Are freaking crybabies. The biggest crybabies for the darkest comic books. You guys are the biggest crybabies. Enjoy the movie. Enjoy the movie.
The only person that actually, no, there are two people. There are two people that have played the role of Batman that didn't get complained about. Michael Keaton. And then they said, well, that was a surprise because I would have never looked at him as Batman. That's the whole point. You're not supposed to know who Batman is. And the other person was Christian Bale. I don't remember any backlash from Christian Bale or Christopher Nolan doing Batman. I remember backlash for Batfleck. And after that warehouse scene, and he comes in there and kicks everybody's ass in the warehouse, that was the most brutal and most Batman-like fight scene I've seen in any Batman movie. And I thought it was awesome. And then Batfleck got his due. And then they started writing him, making him all comedic, trying to make him like DC Tony Stark. And
no, can't do that.
Bruce.
That's not Bruce, and that's not Batman.
That's not Bruce.
Well, maybe Tony Stark is Bruce, flirtatious,
yeah.
Lots of women.
He does that.
Whatever.
He does that as the mask.
But
I mean,
But as Batman,
my opinion of Batman.
At Batman, he is brutal. He don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways.
Yeah.
So judge orders Abrego Garcia to return to U.S. Due process should have prevented this. Now, more and more here. More and more right-wing commentators and elected officials are claiming that illegal immigrants. Now, this is by Des POTUS, okay, from USA Today. Okay. More and more right-wing commentators and elected officials are claiming that illegal immigrants are not worthy of due process. The Trump administration seems to agree, both in their words and their actions. That has led to at least one case of mistaken deportation. The case of Kilmar Abrego Garcia's deportation was such a mess that a judge on Friday ordered he be returned from El Salvador. Now, the Musketeers.
I love this.
The Musketeers.
The Musketeers.
Trump, Musk, Vance. The Musketeers in the White House seem to be on a hiatus when it comes to deportation. They feel as if due process isn't needed, but it is needed in case the government tries to be malice or hateful or just plain stupid in their decisions. The Alien Enemies Act is what the Musketeers are trying to use as an excuse. It is supposed to reduce the burden on deportation during war times. This is the reason why due process is necessary, because mistakes can happen, clerical things can happen. I am sure you have heard, or just regular things happening to regular people when it comes to clerical errors, right down to the bills you have to pay. He was living in Maryland with his family when he was under a protected immigration status. He was only suspected of being a gang member, never convicted of being a gang member, as J.D. Vance tried to accuse him. If he, of course, does not do his research. Now, the Musketeers would rather report first than litigate later. It took them only 3 days to deport him. They didn't bother to do the research on what was really going on, let alone take accountability for their actions. Even after being proven innocent of anything, when it comes to being involved in any gang member association, they still said that he was involved in a gang and human trafficking. Whatever happened to guilty until proven innocent? While he was proven innocent, there was nothing confirming he was in a gang. Now, the Aliens Enemies Act can no longer be used when it comes to deporting people because due process is being looked over and not being used, being that due process is part of law. Nobody is above the law, and it needs to be proven that and shown that as well. And actually, those were all my notes.
Amen.
After this a certain thing, it was just my notes after that. So other than that, the Musketeers cannot do that. They can't use the aliens thing no more.
Well,
It's ridiculous. The man was protected to begin with because he was already under under accusations anyways, and due process. He was in court. I mean, you have stuff like that. You're allowed to be here for certain reasons, and you cannot go above the law. You are only president, and you are only the Three Musketeers.
Oof.
You are not above the law, and you still have shit you have to abide by.
And who are they again?
Three Musketeers, bitches. So thanks again for seeing us. We'll see you again on F-It Fridays. So don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and get notified for whenever we drop new content. And don't forget to check everything else out we have out there. More than just this. Pieces.